First Officer's Log, April 17th, 2016. Hey everybody, so just a couple days ago we got the news that the Defenders, the culmination of Marvel and Netflix's deal of TV series, just got their new showrunners. I have their names here on the screen just in case I mispronounce it or forget one of their names. But along with them, from Daredevil Season 2, we also have Drew Goddard coming back as executive producer. Now, I wanted to make a log about this sooner. I got a little bit busy, but I figured I'll talk about some of this now because I wasn't there for the Daredevil Season 2 spoiler cast. I was in the comments here and there, but I was stuck at work and I just didn't have a chance to come in and review that show. I might do something later, but I wanted to talk about this because I love Jessica Jones Season 1. I think Jessica Jones Season 1 is the best thing on Netflix. I think Daredevil Season 1 is absolutely brilliant and absolutely beautiful. And I think Daredevil Season 2 is really problematic. I went from initially thinking that it was good, not great, to starting to think that maybe it's just legitimately a bad season, and I've seen it twice now, and I really don't like it. I really don't think it works by the end, and so having these showrunners back to handle to handle Defenders is a little bit worrisome. Now, here's the thing though, Drew Goddard is back, and Drew Goddard has had a really weird history. His luck, I don't know what it is about that man, but his luck is just all kinds of out of whack. He was supposed to do the Sinister Six movie, which is why he left Daredevil. Initially, he wrote the first two... he directed and wrote the first episode, then I think he wrote the second episode. But then Sinister Six didn't go anywhere. He initially wrote like a Daredevil Season 1 novel that just has disappeared off the face of the earth. He was going to direct The Martian as well as write it, but then he left to do other things, and then Ridley Scott came up and made that movie. The guy's had so many opportunities to really break out and be one of our best writers and our best directors, and every time something just seems to come up, which is a shame. He didn't get a chance to showrun Daredevil Season 1 like he wanted to. He didn't get a chance to showrun Season 2, but in Season 2 he was there consulting here and there. With Defenders, he's officially back as executive producer with the two guys who wrote a couple episodes of Season 1 and ran Season 2 of Daredevil, showrunning the Defenders. So even if I don't like them being in charge, the fact that Drew Goddard's there to mitigate them, kind of like The Knight was for Season 1 of Daredevil, gives me hope that maybe it'll potentially be really good, as long as those guys are reeled in a little bit. Because I think that's their big thing, is that they're really good for brilliant concepts and brilliant catch-22 situations, but they just never know how to stick a landing, which is my biggest problem with Season 2 of Daredevil. So having someone like that there could be really helpful. We also know that, from an interview with Charlie Cox, that The Defenders is going to start filming near the end of 2016, and that Daredevil is going to be the character that assembles the team, which makes sense. It is kind of fitting with his character arc from Season 2. I can buy that. That's all absolutely fine. Now, if it's going to start filming at the end of 2016, then that means we're probably not going to get Daredevil Season 3 until after Defenders, because the way their deal has worked out is that every 6 months we get a new show. So we had Daredevil, 6 months later we had Jessica Jones, 6 months after that we had Daredevil Season 2, 6 months after that we're getting Luke Cage in September, then 6 months after that would be Iron Fist, and then I would assume immediately after that, not immediately, but 6 months after that, we would get Defenders. I think that would be the timeline. Iron Fist is in production right now. It's got a cast going. I think it may have started filming, although I'm not sure about that. So I assume Defenders would be next. However, Jessica Jones did officially get a second season, so the second season of that might come out before Defenders, and then Defenders gets pushed back. And then we get Daredevil Season 3 afterwards. It's kind of confusing. It's weird because my biggest hesitation and my biggest worry about the Netflix shows as one cohesive whole is that if you keep doing 13-episode stories, if you do 13 Daredevil, 13 Jessica, 13 Luke Cage, 13 Iron Fist, and then do Defenders, you can accurately plan it, right? Because you're just making extra long movies. However, the moment you start tacking on extra seasons because of the success, you have to start realizing how this whole universe is going to function and if everyone's in on everyone else's meetings. I don't know if the people running Daredevil communicate with the people running Jessica Jones, or if they communicate with the people running Luke Cage, who communicate with the people running Iron Fist. So having Daredevil Season 2, I don't know if that was in the game plan to begin with, or if they've had to alter their release schedule because of it, and whether or not they'll alter their release schedule again to get the second season of Jessica Jones out. Because the way the initial press release for this came out, 2 years ago now, maybe 3 years ago now, it seemed very much like we were going to get these 4 shows, 1 season each in order, and then get Defenders as a miniseries. But very clearly the success of them, the critical acclaim of them, has forced them to change it a little bit, which is fine, and I'm absolutely happy with getting more seasons of that. I don't really care that much about maintaining one absolutely powerful continuity, as long as we're able to tell really good stories, and as long as we're able to naturally weave these characters in and out of each other's shows and give them solid arcs. If their planning long term doesn't necessarily hold, but their quality of their stories hold, I'm fine with it. But I would love to know whether or not any of this is an issue for them. If the showrunners for Daredevil knew that they were going to get a second season before Defenders, or however that worked. So just based on this news, I'm not immediately excited. I don't know if Defenders is in good hands or not, but I do trust Drew Goddard. If no one else, I do trust Drew Goddard. I kind of wished Stephen S. DeKnight would have come back as well. Not that Goddard can't handle it himself. Goddard is a fantastic writer. He's a fantastic director. Having him as executive producer along with these two guys as showrunners could be great. But DeKnight's got a certain flavor. And then after the initial 2 or 3 episodes of Daredevil, it sort of became DeKnight's thing. It sort of went back to his wheelhouse a little. And having him in on Defenders might be a good thing, but he's busy doing Pacific Rim 2, which hopefully comes out. So I guess I can't be too depressed about that, because now one of my other favorite things is in production. So we'll see how all of it goes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, whether you agree or disagree with anything I said. What do you think of this news? Whether or not you like Daredevil Season 2, and whether or not you think Defenders is in good hands. I'll be excited to see what the main story is. I imagine it's going to be hand-related, but it might also not be, because Jessica Jones has that whole thing with whoever gave her powers and the whole government conspiracy angle. It might be related to Iron Fist. It might be related to Luke Cage. We just kind of don't know. But if Daredevil's the one putting the team together, then I would assume it's hand-related. So whatever your guess is, leave it in the comments how you expect this whole Marvel-Netflix deal to work, or how it's going to look when it's completed. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.